Right now, we're very, very fearful in the market. Very, very fearful. But I have a feeling that things are going to be okay. Let's show you why. So having a look at Bitcoin and US dollars here, we can see the chart obviously came up to like 106,000. It's come on down and it went down lower and then we've come up. This is a daily chart and we're currently at like 89,000. And a lot of this FUD stems from the S&P 500. Now, when it comes to trading news, this is not my specialty of like technical analysis. My friend Jason Pizzino is good at this. Michael Pizzino is good at this. So I'm following their stuff with my own understanding, checking, cross-referencing in other places as well. But the biggest reason for this FUD vector is the S&P 500, the mainstream media calling for tops. It's the top, it's top, it's top. Now, it's not the top because this property cycle is still doing its thing, the 18.6 year property cycle. So here is, this is the top. It's come on down, and Jason talks about it in his video. You need to come down like here or here for us to actually realize, okay, the top is in. Because these kind of corrections, they happen, like, right? This is not like a crazy, crazy big deal. Like we can go back to July last year. So it's up 7% there. Here, people would have been calling for a top here as well, right? And it was down 10%. So what the S&P 500 does, what stocks do, will translate also to the crypto scene. And I'm very, very confident that the S&P 500 is not going to go down and go into a bear market right now when the president has taken office. 2026, sure, but 2025, no. The other thing to keep in mind is always like zoom out. I'll go over this in a minute, but we can basically see in the current price range, we've lost 21%. But if we go back to 17th of March, 2024, and then we wick down, this is a daily chart, all the way August, this dropped 33%. Yet, still, we went higher. Go back further, it dropped 21%. This is January 2024. Go back further in the bear market, like a a proper kind of bear market down here when Bitcoin's around $30,000, it dropped 20%, and then it dropped 22% also in the February time, 2023. So you can just see that like this happens. Now, if this went down further and further and further, like to 70, then it'd be a bit of a breakdown. And then obviously that would be pretty tragic. So that's why you always want to protect yourself sizably when you're doing DeFi or leverage or anything, because you can get these major drop downs. Obviously, there's a macro element as well. Now, if we kind of zoom in here, and we've got two ranges in here. If we flick very, very quickly to the 1 minute chart, we can see that at this range of 89,372, it's trying to get over this range. It's trying to break this, which is acting as resistance. This is very clear. It just keeps on touching it. And then if we zoom out, this is once again some analysis by Jason Pizzino, which I think is very good. If we zoom out again, we can see that it was trying to get over 99,000. Initially, we don't have to look at that, sorry, on the 1 minute chart. Previously, but then the Bybit hack came. So we kept on playing with this level, and then this is the day that the Bybit hack happened. And that's how it happened. So that's why I'm saying like zoom out. I think it's all going to be okay. If we go a little bit lower, then we need confirmation. We basically need confirmation. It needs to go down quite a bit for us to be like, okay, it's over, which I don't think it is, right? Or it will go up, it will kind of, range a little bit, and then it'll start to go up, and then we realize we're off to the races again. The races will not be like crazy chaotic, but the races will be okay, and then maybe March will be a little bit better, and then April hopefully starts to get a bit more euphoric. Having a look here, there's been a serious bounce with some tokens, like the XRP army. Ether's done well, Sol's up a little bit. So there has been a bounce, but it's a little bit too early to tell. You can see Story is still just pumping up, like absolutely kicking butt. Pain is up 29%. This is a meme coin that I completely faded, and I'm still going to continue to fade because ultimately it's still down from where like most people would have gotten 50%. So not what I want to play with. And you can see down here the amount of volume on like the 5 minute and 1 minute. It's a chart that's just gonna this chart's gonna fail in my opinion. No one's buying this token. Having a quick look at Cato for mindshare, BTC ETH Sol, good, fine there. And the narrative mindshare, the ETF has just popped up. ETF is what people are talking about. There's a massive amount of outflows. DeFi is still here. AI is losing ground, which I think is a good thing. And DeFi is gaining ground relative to the others. And meme coins are starting to lose at present. Now, if we zoom out on a longer trend, whatever, then we're going to see different results. But overall, like this is where I'm focusing my attention. That's where I'm best at. Today, Senate's Banking Subcommittee hearing on Bitcoin and crypto will be a big deal. And there's also a live stream here. So maybe this gives a little bit of pump into the markets if they come out with good policy ideas or if they're open to things like that. But as well, Bitcoin holders realized today the largest loss since August 2024. This basically means like when you've been buying, quite often in a bull market, everyone or almost everyone is in profit. And right now there's been a lot of buying around here where there is a decent number of people not actually in profit, not in profit in terms of on paper. The big thing that's happening here is Bitcoin ETFs are experiencing massive amounts of outflow. They're just being sold and sold and sold. And this is essentially what's hurting, majorly what's hurting the prices. But this is to be expected because the S&P 500 is also going down. MicroStrategy falls over 55%, which is pretty damn crazy. If you are buying this stock, there are people that believe it will outperform Bitcoin, and it probably will. But remember, you don't want to just go all in. You still want to DCA in. Not financial advice, but you're better off to DCA in and try not to buy the tops. Like when it goes up and explodes, wait for it to come back down. I mean, as you can see, it's just dropped 55%. This goes over basically can the company, can MicroStrategy or Strategy be forced to sell some Bitcoin? Is liquidation possible? And it goes through, and the TLDR is potentially it is. Michael Saylor says that you don't have to, they don't have to sell anything. His answer was that even if Bitcoin fell to $1, they would still not get liquidated. They would just buy all the Bitcoin. But they say that from a technical viewpoint, forced liquidation of MSTR is not necessarily impossible, but it's highly unlikely. So they've set something up here with a bit of an infinite kind of money loop where they can take money and they don't have to repay it until like 2028. So they may have trouble then. But until then, it could be okay. But still, something to keep in mind. CZ has this post here, which is all the way from years and years ago, 2020, and didn't have any visibility of the graph afterwards. And the point here is, like in this bloodbath today, a lot of people referring to this tweet. For context, the Bitcoin, well, we can have a look at this. Waiting for the new headline, Bitcoin crashes from 101,000 to 85,000. Save the tweet, okay? Like, he's not, there is some sort of market makers destroying things and taking out leverage and whatever, which is what happens in the space. But the major point here is he doesn't actually have a crystal ball. He probably has the most amount of power in crypto in terms of raising prices. I agree with that. But ultimately, 2020, if you looked at this, you would have realized, well, if I buy Bitcoin right now at $19,000, and if this is accurate, it's going to be going up in the next few years, 5 years in this case, to $100,000. That's not a bad trade. The point is just to zoom out. SEC drops a Uniswap investigation, which was very, very silly. So Uniswap is now no longer listed as a potential security, and a whole lot of green in the market. But this could just be a small little pump, and it may not continue. We just have to wait on a bit more confirmation either side. We're at extreme fear, and if it goes down lower, it will definitely be buying opportunity, but this is still potentially a buying opportunity. This is if you've got some money, you want to buy when there's bottom streets, and you want to sell when things get euphoric. Having a look at the crypto calendar, we've got Sui Basecamp tickets, a sale. I'm not sure where this is, but if you're into the Sui ecosystem, you can have a look and see. It's in Dubai, May 1st to 2nd. Maybe I can go and have a look at that. Monad testnet, get amongst that, stake your soul. And the weekly planetary call was cancelled. This is not happening this week. We've got the JUP rally call instead. Solana railroads, Solana Silicon Valley garages, New York trading floors. There's an innovation with devs, and ship will die May 22nd to 23rd in New York City. If you want to get to this, I would like to get to this and cover content. So I'll see if potentially that is possible. It is a ticketed event, but I think this will be very, very good. It's introduced the Solana ecosystem and the crypto world at large to the United States. I'll see if we can get some more information on it and maybe do like a bit of a video specifically on what it's going to cover. Pingu Cadence, who's been in the ecosystem for quite some time, he's got a bit of a thesis on why you shouldn't be waiting for the popular crypto Twitter 120 level. Instead, bid kind of now, and then that is what his kind of entry is. You can go and set, remember, DCA system, you can buy some now, you can buy some at 130, 120, 110, 100. And if it catches them, fantastic. If the price dips down to like 139 and then it's up to 170, 180, well, enough time passes, you can just cancel those bid orders if you like. MetaDAO, which I'm very, very bullish on, they have a new live decision to release a launchpad. This launchpad, I'm gonna make sure I do whatever I can from my capacity to make sure this is a success. The vote is going to pass. If you hold any Meta tokens, go and buy them. Go and vote with them. Bid the price up. It's definitely going to pass. And what I need to look into some more information. They're at Mountain DAO right now, so I don't want to bother them with questions. But TLDR is, my expectation is the launchpad will launch and the liquidity pools will be with the Meta token, which kind of gives more demand for the Meta token and gets Meta kind of seen on the charts, and people start to realize that there's something building crypto which is actually freaking sick. The JUP litter box has accumulated 2.33 million JUP so far, 70,000 JUP per minute. And I was going to show you the chart on it. It did come up a little bit, but now there's just going to be this constant kind of buy pressure. We'll have to see exactly how it all goes. Jupiter DAO has a new vote going out. It's a fun vote. Should they change their logo? I don't think so, and I don't know. I don't know why. Just for Jupe DAO, this should have been in high res. It shouldn't have been blurry, to be honest. Make sure this is high res, and it'll be a bit more easy to see like why this could be really cool. But I mean, it's a cat. Obviously, Meow's all into cats. I think they need to keep the brand not completely linked to cats, because cats are cool, but like not everyone loves cats. I think they have nothing to do with cats, but the DAO likes cats and Meow likes cats. So that's all clever, but I'm personally going to vote no. You can vote it whatever you like. There'll be one vote every week for the next 6 weeks, starting tomorrow. It's DAO season, so remember, stake your dupe, go and vote. You get the active staking rewards. Meteora released a statement. I did a live stream yesterday, last night, and people were talking about like they didn't address the M3 FUD, or like how that this blew up. And I agree, they did not do that. So what they have to do now is finish their audit and hopefully come out with some sort of clarity. I think the only way to do this in a way that works would be if they basically go and take a snapshot of when like the failure date was, and those people end up getting some extra MET tokens or something. There needs to be something done, because it was on Ben's advice that people like this. And you couldn't say do your own research on it, because it wasn't like the When coin, which is like Meow helped launch it. Like this is literally like properly linked to Meteora. But I don't really care about this. If there is something, if there isn't anything, like our goal is to use DLMMing to make profitable decisions and just to keep growing our bags. One cool thing is upcoming token 2022 support, which will incorporate so many different tokens. So for example, like there's an infinite money glitch token, which probably isn't doing very well, but it's probably fun to do for like a short range. But this is a token 2022 token, and it just means that there's like a 5% buy and sell tax. So I don't know how this would work. I don't know if this would necessarily work in a DLMM, but if so, it could be a bit of fun. Doodles is now on Drip. Secure their first collectible on Solana. This was a couple of days ago. Go use Drip. Drip has kind of downsized their team, but I still think it's a fantastic platform. I imagine they're just trying to save some money. Like it's expensive. They've built some things. They have to reduce costs. They need to find a way to produce revenue. Hyperliquid is the #1 chain by revenue in the past 24 hours. I haven't played over here. I'm a little bit frightened on the fact that it's very, very centralized. I do think they'll be targeted by Lazarus group. They'll be trying to hack them already, and there's no guarantee that they will hack them. It's just that's just like a little bit of a FUD vector that keeps in my mind. Easy Bodega, this person here, Easy Eats Bodega. He thinks that Hype will be a $100 token this cycle. And I haven't played over there, so you can follow him for more Hype news. But they are producing a whole lot of revenue right now. I mean, it's a perp stacks, right? Speaking about Lazarus, there is a bounty created by Bybit, and they any freezer gets 5% of the bounty exchange mixes and all. So if you manage to freeze some of their funds, take their funds, they go back to Bybit, you get 5% of that. So let the hunt season begin, and this is a good way to do it. Monad testnet. I'm going to see if I can do a video today, just a bit of a guide of what goes on. Check this out. Like this will be linked below. Use this one as your guide, and then keep in mind that it's now the last day to be an early user of Monad testnet, and Monadverse Chapter 2 is dropping tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out these 2 videos here. Remember, I am live tonight.